The GV60 3-month update.
I heard a car alarm going off. And it's like, who's the idiot with the car alarm going off in the CVS parking lot? And then I go, wait a minute. Then I get a notification on on the Genesis app that the back seat motion detector was activated. And so I'm like, well, okay, so it is my car. It's Bailey jumping around all mad that I'm leaving her alone in the car, not taking her in shopping. Boost button. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hey now.
All right, Bailey. Well, we're here. We are here. GV60, we'll say goodbye to you for a little while, but we got to go explore this. Let's go explore this Renaissance Festival. Knights of Round Table. I have no idea what I'm getting into here. Let's just go.
We have the largest pickles in all the Shire. Make your friends jealous or blush. 50 Shades of Green.
Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today I'm going to be taking a road trip in my wife's GV60. Here's a car that I haven't been in quite a while. It's Kathy's daily driver. I've been driving my Tesla. Now, we got this car 3 months ago, and some of you may remember that I picked it up on behalf of Kathy. And when I picked it up, I was really into it. I was really understanding all the menus and everything that's going on with the car. And she loves it. There's not a single thing wrong with this car. But I haven't driven it in a while. And I just drove over from my house here to Darien to pick up a couple of SD cards for my GoPros. And it took me a little bit to get refamiliarized with this car. So it's going to be a fun one because I'm driving up to Lebanon, Connecticut today. A little bit of a road trip. There's a Renaissance Festival going there. And I'm taking Bailey with me because Kathy's down in Florida. So come along for a ride with me. It's a nice Sunday here in Connecticut. We're going to have a good time. And check out the GV60 3-month update. Here is the car. This is the 2023. This is the performance variant of the Genesis GV60. This is the one with the boost button, the one with the crystal ball, and this is a gorgeous car. I mean, this is just a beautiful car. You know, what's nice about this is the size of this car. And it's not too big, it's not too small. It's kind of like the Three Bears, you know, right smack in the middle. Just to refresh everyone's memory, we bought this car, actually my wife bought this car in July, and actually she ordered it a while back. And then what happened was, while she was spending the summer down in Florida, the car came in and I ended up taking delivery of this car. And so we took delivery of it of Fairfield, of Genesis of Fairfield, here in Fairfield County, Connecticut. And you know, what happened was my wife fell in love with this car not because of the power. This thing 0 to 60 in like 3.8 seconds, I think I've tested it out at. But look at these seats. These Napa leather seats, you can't get these in the base version. And she fell in love with that because they are gorgeous. I think the designer on this car is from Bentley, and sort of the interior is what really sets this car apart. Now, is the interior German quality? Is it up to Mercedes, Audi, BMW in terms of the interior? I mean, the components here, after spending time in my Tesla, they're way more upscale than what I have in my Model S Tesla, which is more clinical. Although I love my car, but you know, these components are very nice. The stitching in here, everything that's going on in terms of the piping, this kind of his iridescent piping, and it's just a beautiful car. It's, you know, you get the aroma when you open the door because it's real leather. Not everyone likes real leather. This is real leather. This is real Napa leather, but you know, it's got some cool high tech. You can use your face to open the car if you forget your key. We got little Miss Bailey in the back seat over here. Hey Bailey, we're gonna go soon. And you know, it's been a great car for Kathy. She's gotten real used to driving this thing every single day. It's got plenty of room in the trunk here, or what do you call this? Yeah, this is the trunk. I was thinking trunk. Oh, Bailey saying, Dad, come on, let's go. Let's go. Are you kidding me? But overall, we're really great and super happy with this car. So I say it's time for me to take a road trip because Kathy's back down in Florida for the weekend checking on our condo. Everything's good with our building. Everything's good with the condo. But so I'm alone. What am I going to do? It's got to be a road trip.
It really jumps. This car is quite the package. So it's funny. We're jumping on 95 now. I'm driving up to New Haven from Fairfield County, and I'm going to be going north on 91.
Road for about 36 miles.
Yeah, about 36 miles up to New Haven from where I'm at right now. And you know, this morning, as I'm trying to refamiliarize myself with this GV60, which is you know, quiet, smooth, comfortable, gorgeous, well put together, I'm like fumbling. How do I use the navigation? How do I use the, you know, how do I actually, I'll give you an example. I went to get the car washed. Those were explicit orders from my wife, Kathy. You got to get the car washed this weekend. And so I go to put the car, yes, I used one of those touchless car wash places or whatever. It's like $12 to wash the outside of the car. So you know, when you put your tires over the little tracks and it rolls you in, you're supposed to put it in neutral. So I get in this car wash, and all of a sudden my car goes up and down and then up and down. And I'm like, I'm in neutral. What's going on here? I don't understand. So, and I noticed that the hold button was on, the auto hold button. So I went to turn the auto hold button off, but it didn't go off. It still said auto hold, auto hold. So what I had to do was well, first of all, they stopped the whole car wash, which was, you know, only par for the course for me, right? You know, like it's just, you know, causing disruption in the car wash lane. So they stopped the car wash, and I'm trying to figure out why is my auto hold still on if I keep turning it off? Because there's a little button right down here on the dash. So anyway, it turns out that after I put the car in park, and then you could turn auto hold off. So what's interesting, I got to test this out, but it seems as though maybe you can't turn auto hold off when you're in neutral, because I was in neutral. And I guess I didn't try to put it in drive and see if I could do that. I would imagine you could. Anyway, it was just a little bit of a panic situation, and you know, a little embarrassing, but I don't think anybody could see me who it was because I didn't get out of the car. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing that happened is I'm fumbling around for the navigation, and finally I figured out how to do that. And now it's guiding me up, which is fine. And I've come to realize that as complex as these vehicles have become, if you don't use them every day, then it becomes a little overwhelming. When I went to CVS, I walked away from the car, and the car beeped at me. And why? Because I forgot to turn off the car, the EV start stop button. I didn't see the crystal ball in order to leave, which is, I don't know, to me that just seems over-engineered. Like, why do you have to turn the car on and turn the car off? And then the other thing that happened was I got Bailey in the back seat in her little cage all strapped in there. And what happened was I walked away from the car, I cracked the windows. It's 66 degrees out. I didn't really need to use utility mode and keep the AC on or anything like that. I was just gonna be 5 minutes inside CVS. So, you know, there is no dog mode in this car. And usually I just put dog mode on in my Tesla, which is easy. But here, something happened where when I started walking to the car or walking to CVS, I heard a car alarm going off. And it's like, who's the idiot with the car alarm going off in the CVS parking lot? And then I go, wait a minute. Then I get a notification on the Genesis app that the back seat motion detector was activated. And so I'm like, well, okay, so it is my car. It's Bailey jumping around all mad that I'm leaving her alone in the car, not taking her in shopping. So, you know, it's just little things that I got to get used to here, which I will get used to. But let me take a little bit of time now, get reacclimated with the GV60. I can tell you overall, feels great. The headrest is just perfectly placed for my head. The seat is great. I'm going to put on my massaging seat, which I don't have in the Tesla. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the whole body stretch. Wait, how do you do that? Oh, yeah, there we go. Whole body stretch, which is, I love that ergo motion seat. It's only on the driver's seat, not on the passenger seat. And you know, look, the fit and finish is great. It's quiet as can be. But let me get reacclimated with the car a little bit, and I'll check back in. We are heading up to a Renaissance festival today, and it's a little bit of a road trip and a 3-month update, sort of all mashed into one. So let's have some fun here.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us. Over fields and through the country, letting go of everything but us. Over the rainbow. If we hold tight, we can chase the Mississippi through the night, hundreds of miles away. The water is warm, let's dip our toes right in and be reborn. I don't know why we'd wait. Grab some glasses and the atlas, we can prove we're smarter than a phone. Let's go where there's no reception, see if we can make it on our own. Breathe deep in your chest. If we hold tight, we can chase the Mississippi through the night, hundreds of miles away. The water is warm. Let's dip our
All right, so I just called Kyle to ask him about the behavior in the car wash, because I was a little confused why I was unable to turn auto hold off while I was in neutral. What I did was I put the car in drive, and then I turned off auto hold, and then back into neutral. And what he suggested, that if I ever get into a situation like that again, is rather than put the car in park, I should put it in drive, and that way, if that conveyor belt thing comes around, at least when you're in drive, you're going to get a little bit of roll. Whereas if you're in park, they're not going to get any roll. And I know there are rollers on that thing, and it's going to go up and over. But, you know, it's I think it'd probably be less stress on the car if you get into that situation and you need to turn auto hold off. Rather than putting it in park and then turn auto hold off, I would recommend, as would he, put it in drive. So I stand corrected on what I did, but I was in a little bit of a panic there. It was a little embarrassing. Got this beautiful car, and I'm just trying to get it car washed, and you know, I held up the whole line. They shut down the whole car wash line. So whatever. An Ioniq 5 sitting in front of us. Now I am on ADAS here, and I'm hitting the turn signal, and the one thing that I like, hey, how's it going, sir? The one thing that I do like about this HDA, not the HDA2, when I'm comparing it to the Tesla autopilot system, both track super well. This thing is really straight. It's really quite good in terms of keeping the lane. But when I turn on the turn signal here, okay, I can take the lane manually, just like I do in my Tesla, because I don't have enhanced or FSD. And when I go back into the lane, this Hyundai takes back over the steering. In the Tesla, I got to hit the button 2 times on the steering wheel, because I got the Tesla Model S with the yoke. And so I actually have to hit the button 2 times to re-engage the auto steer. This is better. Now, if you have a Tesla with enhanced autopilot that's got lane change, okay, that's better, sure. HDA2 is better, sure. However, when I change lanes, this is just me, I want to actually take control of the car. Maybe I'm still a little old school. I think in a lot of driving situations, I'm fine if the car takes the lane. But, you know, here's a situation, okay, this Subaru was coming on here. He decided not to, but if he was going to come on, I was going to go over and go behind this Macan over here. But basically what I'm saying is that in tricky situations, I like to take control of lane changes myself, and I don't want to rely, at least with the current technology, I don't really want to rely on lane changes. I've had FSD in the past. Maybe it's gotten better since I've had it. I do need to check it out, but I will say that this HDA, the implementation of not having automatic lane changes is done better than Tesla, and the fact that it re-engages. The other thing is, I may be wrong, please correct me if I am, but the fact is that you can actually, in a lot of traffic like this where it's a little bit busy, we're going 52, 58, a little bit of rubber banding. Sometimes with tight traffic, you don't really want to be in the adaptive cruise component. So, with what Tesla calls autopilot, you got steering and adaptive cruise smashed together, okay? And in this car, HDA1, you have the same thing. You can have the car use the adaptive cruise and also do the steering for you. But like I've said this before, but what I do like is that you can separate the steering, the auto steering on this car from the adaptive cruise. And so what you can do is drive the car with the accelerator and, ease in and out of the traffic with your turn signals, manually changing lanes. But once you're in the lane, then the car is going to actually do auto steer for you and keep you in the lane. I like that. I think that's a really good implementation. I had HDA2 in my Ioniq 5, and it wasn't that much better than what this is. So, for those that are concerned about not having HDA2 and an HDA1 after being away from this car for a while and after driving back in a Tesla, I can tell you this HDA, plain old HDA, highway driving assistance, or I like to call it Hyundai driving assistance, highway driving assistant. It's pretty good, folks. I really like it. So a few things that I do like better in this GV60. I know I mentioned the massaging seat, but the other is the control over the regen braking. I don't know why I forgot. It's not that I forgot the paddles, but what Hyundai gives you, Genesis, Kia, in their EV cars are the ability to actually control how much regen you get. So on a highway, if you want the car to coast, you just turn basically regen off, and you keep it in level 0. You grab the right paddle. In stop and go traffic, you can put it into I pedal, which is great, and that's one pedal driving, which my Tesla has, and I love that with the auto hold and all that. That's great. The new Tesla has that. My 100D did not have that. It did not come to a complete stop. It did have hold after you came to a stop, but the ability to control, like right now, I'm feeling like I'm going to go to level 0 here as I'm just cruising on the highway. But if a car in front of me, if I'm driving and not in the highway driver assistance, if I want to take over sort of the control of driving, I can quite easily just adjust the regen as opposed to take my foot off the accelerator and hit the gas. So the flexibility that Hyundai gives you for controlling regen, it's great. I love it. I actually wish Tesla had that. The other thing that this car has that I wish Tesla had as well is heads-up display. And I know that heads-up display is not in all of the models of the Kias and the Hyundais, but it is in this one here with the GV60, and in the Performance Edition you get it. And it's great because it keeps your eyes sort of off of the dash. Now with the yoke, in my Model S, I can tell you the visibility for the screen, not the center screen, but the screen that's in the front, right in front of the yoke. It's excellent visibility. You don't have this wheel going over the top, and I've gotten used to that. And so what I would say is that the way that Genesis has designed this steering wheel, there's no obstruction for the wheel covering, at least for my height and the way I have this set up, there's no obstructions for me to be able to see all the information that's in this dashboard right in front of the steering wheel. When you do put on turn signals in the Hyundai products, any of them, you do see a little video camera that pops up right in front of your face there. Tesla, on my Model S, it does it as well, but it does it on the center screen now. So, you know, it's other little things, like in addition to the heads-up display being right there. In Tesla, you don't have, when you put a turn signal on, you don't have an indicator in your mirror that you're making, that if there's a car there, the little yellow light will come on, or it'll flash at you and beep at you. The Tesla will do that as well, but it doesn't show the indicator in the mirror. It shows it in the center console, which to me is, if my eyes are over here and the information is over there, this is a better implementation of that. Now, why is it that Tesla, who could easily put those indicators in the mirrors, why do they not do it? And I think a lot of that comes down to their vision state, if you will, autonomous driving, FSD. You, the driver, are not going to have to drive anytime soon. So, or, in the future, the vision is that you're not going to actually have to drive. So why would we over-engineer and put a light in a mirror if it doesn't make any sense to do that? And I guess what I would argue is that I don't believe FSD is coming anytime soon. Now, I know we just got a recent update in FSD, but I don't know that I'm going to feel super comfortable trusting that thing in all kinds of situations. This is an evolving technology. It's an exciting technology. And for those that know me, I'm one of the earliest adopters of all early adopters, right? I'm big into any kind of new technology that's out there. But, hold on one second. I got to adjust my distance there. It was a little tight. I like that it's tight with HDA. If you put it on setting 1 for the distance control, it throws you up against the car in front of you pretty good. And speaking of HDA, one of the other things I notice in this car is that with its lane keeping, it tends to, right now it's not doing it, so I can't speak, but it tends to hug the left-hand yellow line a little tighter away from, if you're in the left-hand lane, away from the other cars, which I actually like that. I think that's good. I like to keep the distance. It doesn't seem to track as straight, and there's a little bit, it's nothing bouncy, but it's sort of, for whatever reason, it's hugging the left-hand side the majority of the time. Every once in a while you'll find it in the center. I think Tesla's a little more consistent in terms of placement within the lane. And the other thing that's a little disconcerting with Tesla is that after you've made a lane change and you go back to re-engage the autopilot with the lane centering feature, and you double click on that little button, if you're not in the exact spot in a Tesla where you're going to re-engage the auto steer, and you double click on that button, it will jerk you over to where it wants to be. So you kind of intuitively have to think about, okay, I've made a lane change. I know I don't have enhanced or FSD, and I've made a lane change, and now I've got to kind of time it as to when I'm going to re-engage the full-blown autopilot to do the auto steer. Because if I don't nail it right in the spot where I know the car intuitively wants to be, and I go too far to the left, when I double click on that lane change, when I double click on it to re-engage autopilot, it'll throw me over, and abruptly it will throw me over. Whereas here, this car, when I lane change it out, it just re-engages naturally and smoothly. So this is a good implementation. I know I said that earlier, but these are the little subtle things that that I've noticed, and this makes it a very good road tripping car. Now, clearly, the range on this car is in the mid 200s. You know, if you're doing 70 miles an hour on a cold day, it's probably going to be closer to 200, maybe a little less. So it's nowhere near the range of my Tesla. EPA rated range 405. They definitely overstate that. But you can definitely get, on a warm sunny day in a Tesla, you can get, let's say, 320 to 350 doing 70 miles an hour. Kyle proved that out in his own Plaid recently, doing a 70 mile an hour test, and you know, that was that I think he got over 350, which was very good. But the thing is, this car charges incredibly well. I for the price point that it's at, this thing is a beast, and for a lot of different reasons. Perhaps I'll do another video on sort of EA versus Tesla. But the one thing is that even if you charge this car at a 150, you're going to be getting, you know, if all things are good and temperatures are good and the car is calling for it, the battery temperature is where it needs to be, you could pull 170, 175 in this car on a 150. And let's not forget, there's still a lot of V2s out there in the Tesla supercharger network. And you know, when you pull into a V2, if you're sharing a cabinet with someone, you're going to be sharing a cabinet with another Tesla. You're only going to be pulling 75 max, because it'll force split to 150. So now, having said that, there's so many supercharger systems out there, and every single time you plug in, they work. And I'm excited to get the adapter, the CCS adapter for my Tesla, so that I can start charging at EAs or charge points or EVGos, CCS basically. And I hope it goes the other way around. I would love to be able to charge this car at a Tesla supercharger station. That's yet to be seen, at least in this country. It's happening over in Europe, for those of you that are following along. So, you know, but all these little things, all these little subtle things that you add up, this car is still a great road tripper. It just doesn't have the range of the Model S that I now have, and but it once you, assuming you can find a 350, you're going to be pulling 230, 240. I've seen 241 in this car at EA, and it holds you deep into the pack. So while you may not have the range, because this is a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, versus, let's say, my Tesla that's somewhere between 95 and 103.9. I still haven't figured out how big that battery pack is, but you're carrying around a lot less weight. And you know, I'm running here today, you know, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So, you know, this is a powerful car, and I'm just running it in comfort mode. I'm not even in eco mode. Not really thinking about it today, to be honest. Not doing an efficiency test today or anything like that. But this is a very comfortable car to take on a road trip. I wish it had dog mode, you know, for Bailey, especially in the hot and the cold. I'd feel better. But look, you know, little subtle things. I'm starting to get back into this car. The graphics are.
Take exit 68 northeast.
Oh yeah, we're switching over to 91 up here. This tends to get a little bit of trafficy. So anyway, super happy with the car, super comfortable. Air conditioned seats, heated seats. My Tesla has both those. But this one here, oh yeah, I forgot. My massage stopped. You always gotta turn it back on after, I think it's 20 minutes in this car. You can set it for, which is good. Anyway, we'll catch you again soon. You're very
We
welcome.
are finding some spots. There is one spot at this green tree to turn. It's between
Okay.
a SUV and a compact
All
car.
right, great.
Or you can try going a little further down to the green.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bailey. Oh yeah. Lyman's High School. We'll go down this way. See if there's a. She said there's a parking spot down here. Oh boy. Oh yeah, look at this right here. Perfect. All right. All right, Bailey, we're here. We're at the Connecticut Renaissance. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? I know. We're gonna eat turkey legs.
All right, Bailey. Well, we're here. We are here. And there's a lot of cars here. Look at this. This is quite amazing. The GV60, we'll say goodbye to you for a little while, but we got to go explore this. Let's go explore this Renaissance Festival. I've only been at one Renaissance Festival in my life of Sterling Forest in Tuxedo, New York. And I do remember eating a turkey leg there. So I'm all set. We're going to be, my goal is to eat a turkey leg here today. So what a beautiful day though. Perfect, picture perfect. And this place is huge. Lots going on. Bailey, come on, let's get in there. I'm hungry. There's a little bit of a line here. General admission, $15. I wonder if they charge for pets. Bailey, you got any money, girl? $5. $5? They do charge for pets. All right, so we just paid the admission, and believe it or not, Bailey was $5. I was $15. I had to show a proof of rabies vaccination, but you can see there's people standing on line here. People are dressed up in all kinds of gear. I mean, look at this guy over here. This is pretty wild. This is walking away. Knights of Round Table. I have no idea what I'm getting into here. Let's just go. Bailey, we got to swap out the retractable leash. Those aren't allowed in here.
Yeah,
So,
we have people that end up in one place and their dogs are somewhere
Yeah,
else.
no, I get it. I get
It's
it.
very confusing.
I get it. All right.
There you go, love.
All right. Thank you so much. And what do I do? You're going to take
Yep.
that? All right.
You're gonna
Good.
put that
We'll
one
swap
on.
that on. All right, Bailey.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
Whoa! Whoa! Do I love it? Quiet. Hey!
Bailey, what do we want to get? Queen's Burgers and Fries. They seem to be all the rage. Steak and cheese, meatball and cheese. Let's check this place out a little bit. We got the turkey legs. We got the half pint. We got the beer. And there's a long line for the turkey legs here. And these things are 15 bucks each. $15 for a turkey leg. I bet it's good. I'm gonna buy one if I can get one, but I think they may be in the back cooking them up. So why don't we go take a walk here, Bailey? Let's go.
Rise and brine. I be Peter, partner of the Pickle Priest, the holy pickle peddler from a humble pickle parish, here to pardon thee from thy pickle sins and protect thee from pickle purgatory. Make a pickle pilgrimage to the pickle barrel and purchase a prime Renascence plum pickle. Get a pickle pick-me-up positively packed with plenty of pickle powers and pickle energy. Only 400 pennies from your pocket, purse, or pouch. That's 80 nickel per pickle. Remember, 7 days without a pickle will make 1 week. We have the largest pickles in all of the Shire. Make your friends jealous or blush. 50 Shades of Green.
Oh, wow. How can I say no to that? I got to get a pickle.
Slancha.
All right. Do you sell pickles here? I'm just curious. Well, Bailey, I got myself a pickle. Look at this thing. This is too much fun. I mean, seriously. And over here is a belly dancer. Wow. Now I'm really happy I came here. What is going on? Look at this. Wow. I'm liking this place. This is fun. This is good. Let's keep going.
She's a cardinal, 1, 2, 3. Please, let's tell me who is she?
physical of the song, the picket friends will hold the stage.
Well, I was unable to get a turkey leg, but we got some steak here and some water. Okay, sit down. Sit. Belly, sit. Right there. Okay, good girl. Oh, man. Look at this. We got a show right here in front of us as we're able to have a little bit of lunch here at the table. So amazing. This guy's like playing with fire up there, entertaining the whole crowd. Good time. It's been a great time here at the festival, the Renaissance Festival here in Lebanon, Connecticut. Lots of good stuff, lots of interesting people. There's a whole subculture thing going on here I guess I'm not familiar with, but you know, people seem to dress up in all kinds of things. I saw Shrek, his wife, they even had a baby. So I say it's time to get back in the car and motor on with our road trip. What do you think, Bailey? This has been a great time. Thank you so much. Let's get your leash back.
Okay, well that was interesting, Bailey. What did you think of that, girl? Go ahead. You know, it's an interesting, fun event. I was sad that I guess I could have gotten a turkey leg, but what happened was the line got even longer as I was leaving to get some food, and I don't think they had them cooked yet. I think that this happens to be the last day of the festival. I think they probably were running a little scarce maybe on the turkeys, on the turkey legs, but you know, we had a steak sandwich, and they ran out of cheese, which was okay, but I had a meatball sub. But look, that was an interesting destination place.
Turn right.
Turn right. Oh, okay, up here a little bit. Yeah, so it was an interesting destination for a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And you know, the most important thing is I'm getting back into the GV60, and it's been great. I've enjoyed it the whole time. Turning radius is not great, not to say it is in my Tesla either, but you know, I think one of the best turning radiuses I've ever.
Right at the second road.
Okay, I will turn right. One of the best turning radiuses of any car, other than like a little Mini Cooper that I've had, is a Volkswagen ID4 rear-wheel drive. Amazing turning radius in those cars. So I just popped the speeds up, allegedly, to higher numbers than usual, if you know what I mean. And I wanted to test out a couple different things. First, I wanted to test out the boost button and see how it actually interacts with the driver. And so when you hit it, it jumps. Even if you keep your foot in the same exact spot on the accelerator, you hit the boost button, the car accelerates. The tuning of that's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit intrusive to my mindset. I wish that the boost button meant that I had more access to the power as opposed to changing the actual mapping of the accelerator to the access of the energy in the battery pack. So I understand why they do that, because probably from a marketing standpoint, it's like when you push the boost button here, if I push it, oh, I feel it, but I didn't change my foot placement. So, oh, you can feel the boost button. Give me access to the power, but let me control when I want it and when I don't want it. The second thing I did was I actually, as soon as the boost button kicked out, I put it back on, and it was repeatable. I did it 4 times. And so it's not as if it locks you out of accessing the additional power that's in this car, but it doesn't let you stay with it other than 10 seconds, and then it turns off. And then, but you can re-engage it again. The other thing that I noticed was the fact that there is a noticeable wind noise at higher speeds allegedly than allowed. The road noise, the tire noise is extremely well insulated, and I don't really hear wind noise over on the side view mirrors as much. But I actually hear it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut this. I'm going to shut this glass roof here because I want to see if the glass roof actually makes a difference in the wind noise. Let me pop it up to a little bit higher speed than allegedly allowed. All right, I got that. Definitely quieter if you shut the window, the glass roof cover. It's not just a little fabric covering, but it's like a substantial. Well, maybe it is a little fabric covering. It just seems like it's pretty substantial, and I definitely hear less wind noise. But having said that, the Tesla is quieter. Now I just recently swapped off my T Sportline 20 inches for Martian Wheels 19, and that I had a lot of road noise from the T Sportlines, not because of the wheels, but because I was running Michelin Pilot Sport all season 4s, and they didn't have that foam insulation in them like the OEM Continentals. So I went with a little bit higher sidewall and Continentals on the Tesla, and the road noise has gone way down. But if we're just talking about wind noise in this car versus the Tesla, the Model S is quieter, for sure. It's quieter. So, but you know, this car also has some sort of active noise cancellation system with the B&O, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is a great sound system. The Tesla sound system in the Model S is better. Amazing sound system in that car. But this is a very good sound system in the B&O. In the Ioniq 5, on the limited edition, you got a better radio. I don't know. I thought the Bose was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. The sound system in this car, very good. Something to write home about. The Tesla, something to write home about, and also tell your friends about too. That is a fantastic sound system. Not the best I've ever heard, but extremely good. So again, you know, these are just my thoughts, subtle thoughts, differences, what I'm remembering about the GV60. This is a beautiful place to be. I got Bailey back there. She's quiet as can be. She's out. She's down for the count.